Welcome, welcome, welcome. Debs Cooper, global stressologist. I think we've got it. Thank you for joining me here today. Woohoo! Let's see if we can get this down a little bit. There we go. I think that's how it's going to go today. Oh my god, today is really interesting because this is what's come about from me, even myself. These are things that I've implemented in my world to keep me on track. So it's been an interesting week, let's just say that. So, as I said, Debs Cooper, global stressologist, thank you for joining me here today. If you are here live, that would be awesome to know, or if you're here on a replay, that would be awesome as well. Awesome, if I say awesome, fabulous. So, shall we crack on? How to keep yourself on track. Sounds pretty simple. But we all know that things can come and sideswipe us and take us out, or someone gives us more work, or anything. And if you'd seen me 3 hours ago, you'd be going, how did she actually get herself on camera? Because I was literally lying on the couch, felt like I was dying. It's amazing what happens when you jump out of your clothes and you have a shower and you're off to the hairdresser and suddenly you've got that little burst of energy. Which I'm not actually going to give you about those little tips today, but this morning I was definitely battling. I've been getting up every morning, just a little bit after 4. I've committed myself to mentorship. That's an early start for 2 years. Tuesday to Saturday. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and when I get up I'm okay, but boy, when that alarm goes off, damn, says my face and the rest of it. So let me talk about how to keep yourself on track. One of the tips, grab yourself a note-taking device. Good old Langham pen. Grab yourself a note-taking device because I'd love you to actually take some notes clearly today. So one thing is stand tall. Stand tall. And when I talk about standing tall, I'm talking about getting back up. So no matter what has happened to you, shoulders back, get back up. You actually must carry on. No matter what speed you're going at, but you must carry on in whatever capacity you're at. So there's a thing called guilt and shame. And guilt and shame can immobilize us. And it can often actually take us completely off track when we're guilty of something, or we're shameful of something, or when we're taking on somebody else's stuff. So just know with guilt and shame, you actually cannot take anything back. You cannot take anything back in your world, but you can learn from your experience. So when I say stand tall, I'm not talking about stand tall and be really egotistical. I'm like, okay, I've got this. I'm standing tall. I'm going to move forward. But just be aware of that guilt and shame and know that you can't take it back. It's done. It's out there. But you can move forward with ease when you actually acknowledge that, and you're going to learn from it. The next tip I'm going to talk about is belief. And that belief is a belief in yourself. And when I talk about that, you must have a trust within yourself that you can do this. And in others, that they're going to do right by you, which is all about your moral compass. But just have that belief that I can actually do this. I can actually. 3 hours ago, I was like, I don't know if I can do this Facebook Live. I literally felt like, I say dying, and I clearly wasn't. And that's an extreme, but I did feel like, I don't know if I can front up and actually talk without blowing it. The truth is, I believed in myself. I believed in you. I believed in you turning up, and that was me. So just be aware of those things. So there's that belief and trust that is very, very strong. The third tip I'm going to give you is actually support. And when I talk about support, you must have great teammates around to make your work super easy. And when I say work, it may be home style, but it also may be at work, or it may be at sport, whatever it is. But make the work, not necessarily the work that you're at, to make it easy. It's incredibly important to have that right tribe around you. And with that tribe, you want those ones to pick you up when you're falling down, but also you want those ones to pull you down to certain levels when you're actually escalating into you're sitting at the high of that roller coaster, and someone's real going, come on, is that really where you're going? They're the ones who actually keep you real. So be aware of that tribe, that support that you've got around you, and it's wise to have the right people around you. The next tip I'm going to give you is above the line, and I learned this many years ago, and I actually don't even know. I think it's called Awe in Bed, if I remember rightly. or ownership. I don't know. But I just remember the word above the line, words above the line. And when above the line means you have a moral compass. Other people have their own moral compass. Don't worry about others. That is their doing. And we talk about, karma and all that. So just know what line you're drawing in the sand and keep yourself above that line. Make sure that you're doing what's right for you and your soul that's allowing you to sleep at night. Keep yourself above the line. The 4 agreements, which I just put away yesterday, there's 4 agreements by, I can't remember his name. I'll actually put a little link in there. And it's about don't take anything personally. I can't remember them, but they're actually really, really, really good. I'll actually put them in the chat because that would be so much easier than actually piffling about something I can't remember. But it's about doing right, saying and doing right every day and doing the best you can. So keep yourself above that line. The next one, and I talked a little bit about don't worry about others, is don't compare yourself. People are on their journey. Keep them on their journey. Even if they're your children or whatever, keep them on their journey. You don't have to jump onto their train. Don't compare yourself to them. Just because someone's been through stuff, just because someone's been through anything, doesn't mean that you are more or less of a person because you haven't been through it. You haven't been through their hardship, so, I'm not as good as them, or they've survived this or whatever. If you're ever comparing yourself, pull yourself back onto that, because people are on their own journey. You've got yours. You can definitely look at people and go, wow, that person's gone from that to that. That's pretty inspiring. But it doesn't mean you're more or less of a person here today with what you've been through, because your life stories are your life stories. The next one is focus. And when I say focus, I'm actually going to say focus on one thing. And so when I say focus on one thing, I truly don't believe that we as humans are conditioned to be Wonder Woman or Superman, or both, or a mixture of both. I don't believe we're actually meant to be that crazy person. Now, I'm really great at managing my time, my space, my workload. I'm great at that, and I can definitely say that's a skill I've got. I don't think I'm Wonder Woman, but I do know when it's time for me to go, you know what, back away. So be prepared to say no, and say it with ease and grace and certainty that they're not going to come back in. No, thank you, that's not for me right now. No, thank you. No, 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 no. In fact, I dare you to say no to somebody today. Might be quite easy. Might be easier than you think if you haven't already. But I'd love you to focus on one thing. Just if you're struggling to do something and you want to bounce yourself back on track, focus on the one thing that's really important. You'll know when to move to the next thing. You'll know with that list when to move to the next thing. But just focus on one thing right now until you actually feel, okay, I've got this. I've got this. The other tip is you're human. You're human in this world, having human life experiences, emotion. So be realistic with what's going on around you. Look at the time frames. Be realistic with the ideas that you're having. Be realistic with your surroundings. Be realistic with the people. Are they actually lighting you up, or are they deflating you? So you want to keep your life real as it possible, as real as totally possible as you can. So keep it real, but don't hide your emotions. And I'm not talking about come on camera and do a Facebook Live and cry because something's happened to you or whatever it is. I'm saying keep it real. Keep your bubble tight. Whatever it is that works for you, keep it real, but don't bottle in those feelings or emotions, because if you're really down, you know what happens? It's just going to explode. If you're really high, someone's going to try and bring you down, or the universe is going to bring you down. So just watch your emotions, but acknowledge that you are human here, having a human experience in this place. Now, this one is, I think, this is a goodie, and I'm talking about fight. And I'm talking about fight for what you desire. Whatever it is you desire, fight for it. If it truly is important, if it really, really, really is important, then fight for it. Don't let anyone tell you that it's wrong or you can't do this. When I have people come to me and they say, I want to do this, and it could seem crazy. Oh, I don't know how to stop those things. When that happens, just mute that one. When that happens, I can't tell them that they're not going to get it done. I just go, is this realistic? Do you see this? Let's unpack it and let's see how we can actually do it. So don't let anyone tell you that it's wrong or right or you can't do it. None of that. Fight for what you desire. If you believe it, do it. But watch two things, and there's two things, and they're an E word and an H word. And that's watch your ego. Watch your ego and watch your humbleness. Because if you're living in ego and you're fighting for it, you're only going to get hurt. You are going to get hurt, and it's going to be a goodie. Because I talked a little bit earlier about above the line. If you're fighting an ego, that's below the line. I can tell you now, humble is above the line, ego is below the line. So fight for what you desire, if it's in here, but watch that, woohoo, yeah baby, that ego. And I think I did just sing and swing a little bit there. Now, when you're on track or you get yourself off track, sometimes you are head fogged, brain clutter, sick, whatever it is, forget all those things. So this is definitely one to grab your pen and paper or whatever note-taking device. And this is called Unpack It. And when I talk about unpack it, brain dump every single thing that's in your head. In fact, I think I talked about this last week. Unpack every single thing in your head. If you've got stuff going on in your house and you want things done, then write it down room for room. If you've got things to do with your children, if you've got to go drive somewhere and pick this up and do this, brain dump it. Get it all out of your head. Because there's nothing worse than things milling around in your head where you actually can't move forward. Because if they're still in there, they're just like this, and it's going to be, and I reference it, a Christmas tree box of lights. And sometimes if you don't pack them properly before Christmas or when you finish with them, they're chaos. And you open that box and you're like, oh my God. And that's sometimes where your head's at. So brain dump every single thing out of your head. Prioritize it. Put it in priority order. What do you need to have done? And then you're going to put a realistic time frame. So when you've got in that priority order, realistic time frame is, we know what happened in 2020, sideswipe us, the year of pivot. So put a realistic time frame on that schedule that you've got of things to be done. And then you're going to ask for help, or you're going to delegate it. So when you're asking for help, you're going to ask people who actually love to do it. People who love to do it. And then the other one is, if you're going to delegate it, or get them to give it to them completely, make sure that they love to do it as well, because you can't delegate something to somebody who doesn't like to do it. I can't ask a gardener to come who doesn't know anything about gardens and also hates gardening to come and do my garden. What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to be spending more time going on checking on them and spending money for something that they're not going to want to do. So you can also, if it's something that you feel's off track and it's not for you, and it's actually something you said you do, hand it back to them. Throw it back to them. Hey, look, this is not for me today. It's something I'm just not going to get done. Thanks very much. Throw it back to them. But make sure you've got to get all that stuff out of your head, because if this is sitting in there, it's just going to go crazy, and 100% it's going to take you off track. Now, before I take my last three, I'm just having a little drink because I'm going to try not to say a particular word. And this is wake the up. Wake up. Wake the up. Because if you are constantly getting off track, if this is repeating, if this is a pattern, if this is the same time each year, if you come into winter or you come into summer and this happens or someone comes into your world, you need to wake the up. It's serious time to change things. You cannot be more serious than right here, right now, because it's really time to change things and change things around you, people, surroundings, whatever it is, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your exercise, whether it's your sleep. And I know I said I'm getting up early, and I am getting myself into a pattern, although next week I'm traveling, so don't know how that pattern's going to work for me then. It's going to be working. We're going to learn the year of pivot all over again with Deborah. But if I'm not getting enough sleep and I've got the same headaches or I'm grumpy or whatever it is, it's time for me to wake up and change things. Look at your surroundings. Are your surroundings lighting you up? Whatever it is. But when I say wake up, I'm also saying don't hide. Don't hide from this. Don't hide from anything. You're better to put your hand up and say, I need some help or whatever. You cannot avoid it, because we know what happens when that snowball comes down the mountain. If it is not looking healthy and it comes down and down and down, it just escalates bigger and bigger and bigger, collects all the sticks, all the skiers, all the things in a row, and it's just going to literally come down and smash. So don't hide from it. Address it as soon as you can. And here's my last 2 tips. You know what I'm going to say with this one. And this is starting with G. And this is glitter and gratitude. And when I say glitter and gratitude, I'm talking about do what lights you up. Make sure you sprinkle glitter with wherever you go and what you do, because that's what gives you that energy. That's what keeps you on track. When you're off track, it's meaning something's actually saying it's not really for you. And your body's reacting or people are reacting. So look at that glitter, sprinkle that glitter around you. And when I say gratitude, I'm talking about appreciate. Appreciate the situation you are in right here, right now. If you're on the couch thinking, I can't do this, but you're listening to this, be grateful that you're on the couch. Be grateful that you can actually rest. Be grateful that you're listening to a video of me. Whatever it is, be grateful for what you have and be grateful for what you don't have right here, right now. And then the last one. Oh, the last one. Just a little bit of pain there. The last one is reach out. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. Because I am here for you. I'm here to help you in whatever way is possible that I can help you with. I'll put my time calendar in the chat. Reach out, because there's nothing worse than sitting in a funk. You've been in that funk for more than 24 hours. You've been in that funk for 3 weeks. You can't keep yourself on track. Your head's cluttered. There's a lot going on. You don't even know where you're going. So please reach out. So that is Debs Cooper, global stressologist, on how to keep yourself on track. Whew. Think I did that one quick enough? Do you think? So I would love to know if you love this today, if you really love this or enjoyed it or anything. I would love you to share it. Share it with those you care about. Share it with those you don't care about because you're sitting in ego. But share it with those around you. Let them know that you care about them enough and you want to help them keep themselves on track. And also, the next step is to let me know what one you like. What tip did you particularly like on this? If you don't want to put it out here in the message, send me a private message. Let me know. That will be fabulous. So, this is Debs Cooper signing off, global stressologist. Thank you for joining me on how to keep yourself on track. Have a fabulous day wherever you are, or night wherever you are watching this. Thanks. See you next time.